And, you know, we had a bit of a lull in the kind of the middle of the day, the late afternoon hours, right about 5 o'clock or so. You got a nice little window. People were thinking about trying to grab dinner, and it's a good thing that they got out when they did, because this area that I'm standing in has lost power, and much of Cordele is losing power as we speak because of those wind gusts. Let's bring in Dr. Knabb as well. Dr. Knabb, this is, you know, it's still a hurricane. People say, oh, it's just a Category 1, but if you lose power and lose power for weeks from just a Category 1, this is still a big deal in this area.
Right, Mark. And another thing that people need to understand about a hurricane when it's inland, okay, sustained winds maximum are at 90 miles per hour, but the gusts can be up to 40% stronger than the sustained wind. So it's easy, unfortunately, to get wind gusts above 100 miles an hour in some localized spots when you've got sustained winds of 90. And Mark, where you're standing in Cordele, you know, you are in the middle of a hurricane warning. These are not just coastal events.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that forward motion of this storm, because it's still picking up speed. How much of that kind of jet stream influence could also get translated into this system and continue that wind for a far-reaching area?
Yeah, the deep layer wind is certainly steering it and has made that turn to the northeast. And, of course, that has put Cordele in the crosshairs. But even areas up to the north of you, up in Macon, we're getting reports of downed trees. And because there's still so much thunderstorm activity in the what is still, you know, pretty well intact kind of eye wall structure, that is mixing down the momentum. That's bringing the energy down to the surface. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you can get quite a bit of enhancement of the gusts over land, more so than you would over water. So this is going to be getting worse where you are, Mark, because when you look at the radar, the system is getting closer and closer to you. So let me switch to that as we're talking, because I want people to see. Here's where it came ashore, and then it went into southwest Georgia near Albany, and then now look at it. It's coming right at you, Mark, and you haven't gotten the strongest winds and heaviest rain that you are going to get.
Yeah, I can feel that. It's steadily increasing even as I'm talking to you, although I will say one thing we haven't seen any of is lightning. We haven't heard any thunder. We haven't seen any lightning yet. So if that's still in the eye, or what's left of that eye wall center, then, you know, that's just one more thing that's going to come through Cordele and add to the power outage problems. Obviously, that's a big threat here. You know, Dr. Knabb, talking to some locals, they say that there's a quadrant here that loses power first every time, and that has happened, including where we're staying. There's no power here, no power in the surrounding area. But they haven't dealt with something like this. I mean, Irma came through to some degree, but this is a different storm, right? It is moving faster. At this point, it's got a good core of wind. I mean, people are trying to draw those, you know, correlations between the two. In your mind, and people always go back to, you know, what they've experienced. How do those storms match up in south central Georgia?
Going to be much more potent and stronger winds. And again, you haven't seen the worst of it yet in Cordele. So we urge people not to think back to the past storms and think, well, okay, that wasn't so bad. I can get through this. I can go out in the car. Don't do it. Trees are coming down. Power lines can come down. There could be downed power lines. And you've got to stay off the roads in Cordele, Mark. And I hope people are not venturing out.
Yeah, well, there is a curfew in place. It started at 8 p.m., goes all the way until 8 a.m. So not only should you not be out because it's dangerous with likely debris across the roads, but you could also be ticketed, and nobody wants to lose money doing that. More coverage right here on the Weather Channel from Hurricane Michael. Stay right here for the latest updates.
Oh, there's hey.
Your brain changes as you get older, but Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Behold, the Pacifica Hybrid.
It's half gas, half electric.
Kind of like I'm half mom, half comedy sensation. What?
More like half mom, half got dressed in the dark.
Half drama queen, half accessory stealer.
Yeah, I know that's my bracelet.
Mom, how long are you two gonna do this?
With a 566-mile driving range, I can do this all day. Hope we see some of your friends.
Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Hey, you can't do that.
Can he do that?
Yeah, he's good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's the #1 longest-lasting battery.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
All right, I brought in Ensure Max Protein
to give you the protein you need with less of the sugar you don't. I'll take that.
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Ensure Max Protein in 2 great flavors.
Our craftsmen begin each day perfectly seasoning our Hillshire Farm smoked sausage. So by simply adding the right ingredients, you can end each day crafting a perfectly delicious dinner.
You can drink, eat well, and exercise, but to look completely healthy, you need healthy skin. Cetaphil is clinically shown to strengthen the skin's barrier and protect even the most sensitive skin against dryness, so you can look healthier. Complete your healthy routine with Cetaphil.
Hey, Maya, what's up?
Hey, so listen, I was taking another look at your overall financial strategy. You're still thinking about opening your own shop?
Every day.
I think there are some ways to help keep you on track, closer to home.
I'm all ears.
How did Edward Jones grow to $1 trillion in assets under care?
The right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney.
Ma'am, he'll be read his rights and taken to the station.
What about my rights?
In Florida, those accused of a crime are read their constitutional rights. But what about victims? No criminal should have stronger rights than their victim. It's time for equal rights. It's time for Amendment 6.
It's their 73rd anniversary sale with up to 73% off store-wide. Don't miss exclusive designer collections. This designer dining table for only $5.97. This bedroom set for only $14.97. How about free customization on leather too? And during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, get special Shop for the Cure savings when you donate. Celebrate and save their 73rd anniversary now.
Discover what over 1 million families know. We shop, you save.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 78. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, late night thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back into our continuing team coverage of Hurricane Michael. I'm meteorologist Alex Wilson in Panama City, Florida. And, here we've seen so many businesses affected directly and affected in a big way from Hurricane Michael as it made its way into the area earlier today. Mike Nelson with Buddy Gandy Seafood. You're out here. We noticed you were kind of evaluating what happened to your business. Give us a sense of what it's like. You weren't here during the storm, but now that you're seeing after the fact, what's it like in there?
It's a lot of damage. Our ice machine fell off the top of the roof. A couple of, walls are down. Our retail only had one window busted out, but as far as that goes, a lot of it's just cosmetic damage that we can screw back down, but the ice machine falling off the roof and our sign up front done a lot of damage, so there's going to be a lot of repairs.
Yeah, and you said that ice machine is a relatively new and big investment.
Yeah, we just got it like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a step back.
Yeah, but you did say that the community was really rallying together. Everybody was out clearing trees.
Over the years that I've lived here my whole life, I've been through just about every one of them, and this is, as far as you can see, every tree's down, but the neighbors pulled together, and all the roads got unblocked. They were out there working together to where everybody could have access to go, find their families and make sure everybody was safe. So it was kind of a good moment to be able to know that our community does that. So
yeah, and you said that your restaurant, you're going to try to help the community because you anticipate you've got
normally, last year we gave away all of our ice before a hurricane, and it actually turned out that we didn't need it. So hopefully tomorrow, if people do need a small amount of ice, we'll have some to, hopefully the ice maker made enough before it fell off that it's still in there. So we'll be able to, try to help people out if they do need some ice.
You said you rode out the storm not far from here.
Yeah, it was just a couple blocks over.
What was it like during the storm? Describe, what are the things that you're going to remember?
It was like being in a tornado that usually just comes by kind of fast, but lasted 4 hours.
I would imagine that was pretty scary. Was it just you?
No, we had a bunch of friends that was, hunkered down, had our mattresses and stuff off the bed and, covered us up and everything, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah, you mentioned you've lived here for over 40 years, so you've been through the headlining storms. Was there ever a moment where you were thinking, this one's different, I'm nervous, I'm scared
I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't have stayed, but, when you look outside and the cars are being pushed on the grass, and you look down the street and there's no trees and all the virgin pines are gone. Trees that have been here my whole life that I see are gone. It just completely wiped everything out.
Yeah. And what is your hope, for the community? What do you do now in the coming days?
We just rebuild and keep going.
And you plan to stay here as a member of the community?
This is just something that nothing's ever too dirty you can't clean up.
Yeah. And you mentioned, you as a lifelong resident with the name Michael, were kind of worried about what this storm would bring to your area.
Yeah, that was kind of, I always said that if there was one named after me, he'd be pretty bad, but I was, being facetious. I was not really thinking that it was going to be that bad, but it was, but I hope everybody did turn out to be as safe as I did. And I know a couple of my friends, Josh Coatney, he owns a business on 22. His whole house got blown out, hit by a tornado earlier. So, and then my, Kenyon Gandy, my cousin that lives right over here on Arthur, he didn't even get nothing wrong. He come out clean. So, it's just, there's a lot of people out there that lost a lot.
Right. Are you having trouble getting a hold of anybody, or have you pretty much accounted for all of your family and friends?
Yeah, everybody's pretty safe.
All right.
Yeah, everybody's pretty safe. So.
Well, Mike Nelson, we really appreciate you talking to us. We wish you the best, and absolutely you as well. And hang in there. This community really working together, doing what they can. And for the time being, now there's a curfew in effect, but tomorrow morning I know everybody will be out and about doing what they can to get this city back on their feet. Mark Elliott in Cordele, Georgia, you're kind of seeing the worst of the weather right now, and power outages going up by the minute in Georgia.
Yeah, they're not really sure what they're going to face tomorrow morning with the cleanup because the winds are really just starting to ramp up now. The wind gusts have been getting close to 50, if not 55 miles per hour throughout the late evening, beginning of the nighttime hours. And this is not the heart of Michael yet. We still have several hours to go before the center of this storm comes through, which is hard to believe because it's already blowing me around quite a bit. Let's talk about Cordele. Cordele schools are closed tomorrow. They are closed because, again, they don't anticipate a lot of the power being on, and they don't anticipate a lot of the roads to be passable. You got wind gusts like this going through, and we've already seen debris slamming into some of the far distant power lines. Way in the distance, but it filled the sky with that arcing blue light when you know that something like that has occurred. That blue light is because of something slamming into the line. It's called arcing, and we've seen a lot of that across town. As I try to look off in the direction of the worst of the wind, with all the rain in my face, which is hard to do, there is still power off in that direction. Yet, behind me, that is I-75, and there's no lights on that section of 75 at all. So, certain grids are up, certain grids are down. talking to the police lieutenants in the area, saying we're anticipating more of the same, more of those power outages as we go through the rest of the night as this storm comes through. That is why there is a curfew in place, goes through the overnight hours until 8 a.m. It is not safe to be out there on the roads. They do not want anyone driving around. Emergency vehicles only so they can respond. Continuing coverage right here on the Weather Channel as Hurricane Michael, Category 1 storm, continues to move through south central Georgia.
Face the world as a face to be reckoned with. Only Botox Cosmetic is FDA approved to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better. It's a quick 10-minute cosmetic treatment given by a doctor to reduce those lines. There's only one Botox Cosmetic. Ask for it by name. The effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Do not receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyelid and eyebrow drooping, and eyelid swelling. Tell your doctor about your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. Leave your mark on the world. Minimize its mark on you. Start saving at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Domino's delivery drivers are experts at handling bad roads. But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country. Then carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that Chevy won a J.D. Power Dependability Award for its midsize car, the Chevy Malibu. I forgot, Chevy also won a J.D. Power Dependability Award for its light-duty truck, the Chevy Silverado. Oh, and since the Chevy Equinox and Traverse also won, Chevy is the only brand to earn the J.D. Power Dependability Award across cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. Third time's a charm.
Introducing Turbo 13 from Nutrisystem. Lose up to 13 pounds your first month, guaranteed. Your 13 can turn into 20, 30, 50, even more. I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order right now and save 40% off every program. Plus, get 1 week of Turbo Shakes free and free FedEx.
Your first 13 pounds, gone.
Go online or call 877-629-THIN right now and save 40% off every program, plus get shakes free.
Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh ham has no added nitrates, nitrites, or artificial preservatives. Now, Deli Fresh flavor is for everyone, like those who like sweet, those who prefer heat, and those who just love meat. Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh, a fresh way to deli.
Lovely. How does one make such delightful cucumber sandwiches?
Frank's Red Hot sauce, Your Majesty. I put that on everything.
Frank's Red Hot Original, the perfect blend of flavor and heat.
We're going to replace candy with some healthy Halloween treats today. These are called veggie fruit chews.
Tastes like poopy pinata. I threw up. I want candy.
Bring on the candy. Crest has you covered.
Bringing my Giovanni Rana pasta to everyone in America wasn't so easy. So I made it easy for America to find me. In the refrigerated section, Giovanni Rana pasta. Share what's inside.
The landfall of Hurricane Michael was many hours ago, midday today, and we are starting to be able to see some of the damage. Some of these areas will be recovering for a long time to come. And this video from Panama City Beach is from the western eye wall, the comparatively weaker side. But when you're talking about a high-end Category 4 hurricane, there is no weak portion of the eye wall. It's just not as strong as the strongest part of the eye wall that was on the east side that affected the Mexico Beach area between Panama City and Apalachicola. You can see, look at how some of those palm trees just have lost all the fronds. There's debris everywhere, poles bent over or knocked down, roofs damaged, power lines down. And some of these structures have never been through a major hurricane. Many of them built before the building codes were enhanced post Hurricane Andrew. And look at the funneling going on there in that what looks like a parking structure or the low level of a hotel, a multi-story building where the lowest level is parking so that it can handle storm surge. This is extensive damage and massive power outages there in Bay County, Florida, and that's along the coast. But Michael is not just a coastal event. It is still wreaking havoc. After having gone through the central Florida panhandle, it's now going through southwestern, headed into central Georgia, where our Mark Elliott is stationed right now in Cordele, Georgia, along I-75. And Mark, it is probably still going to get even windier before it starts to calm down where you are.
Yeah, which is hard to imagine because at this wind speed, which is, I would say it was probably a 60-mile-per-hour gust that just came through, rain hurts. Rain stings, right? This is a free microdermabrasion for anyone silly enough to be standing outside to show you what to expect during these storms. It is full-out sideways rain here in Cordele, where basically it's coming out of the due east, which means the storm isn't here yet. It hasn't started to shift around out of the south at all. It is a due east wind gusting 50, maybe 60 miles per hour at this point. And because of these winds, because of the potential for widespread tree damage across the city, there is a curfew in place here in Cordele. Goes until 8 o'clock. It started 8 a.m. It started at 8 p.m., goes until 8 a.m. They do not want anybody out on the roads whatsoever. Now, it is, it's even hard to take a breath when those big gusts come through. That's what it feels like out here. It is unbelievable. At times, in those lulls from the gusts, we are still hearing the chirping of the frogs of the meadow behind me, which is just incredible. You hear about that in some of the stronger hurricanes, that the wildlife respond to the lowering pressure and increase their sounds. But I've never heard it during the storm like I'm hearing right now. It is usually relegated to the quiet of the eye, but the animals know that something is coming. As for, the bigger animals, all the people in Cordele, power is a big problem tonight. We've seen the grid starting to fail in certain sections, including where I'm staying, including in the immediate surrounding area. And that also includes some major highways. Behind me, it's hard for me to look in that direction, but due that way is I-75. And all the lights on that section of the highway are out. So it makes travel that much harder. I wouldn't advise travel for the high-profile vehicles. These gusts could be dangerous if they hit the broad side of the vehicle. Because let's face it, I-75 is a north-south road, and these winds are coming in at due east still, so they are hitting the broad side of the trucks. I'm sure they are, white-knuckle driving, trying to hold on to the wheel if they are out there at all, which is not advisable at this point. And then further down, actually, I was about to say further down, I-75 still has lights on, but that's out too. So that last little round of wind that we were talking about has just knocked the next section down through Cordele and I-75 out also. Because of the anticipated power outages, because of the need for cleanup, and really because they don't want anybody on the streets in the early morning hours, they have already canceled school across this area for tomorrow. So the kids and parents, lots of workplaces closed. No need to wake up early with that curfew continuing until 8 a.m. It is incredible, right? It's a Category 1 storm after being a historic Category 4 that slammed into the coastline. Things that have never been seen before. And, in recent history, for most people that live in Cordele, they've never seen anything like this before, right? This is still a powerful storm, a Category 1 hurricane, winds sustained near 90, gusts that could be 20, 30, even 40% higher than that, and still several hours before that main core, what's left of the center of that storm, comes right through this area and through Cordele, through I-75. So the difficulties that you're experiencing will only get worse for the next couple of hours, and we're here on the Weather Channel taking you through it. We'll be right back.
AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence, covering virtually every part of your finance business. And so if someone tries to breach your firewall in London and you start to panic, don't. Because your CTO says we've got allies on the outside and security algorithms on the inside. And that way you can focus on expanding into Eastern Europe. And that makes the branch managers happy, and yes, that's the branch managers happy. AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence. It can do so much for your business, the list goes on and on. That's the power of and. And when this happens, you'll know how to quickly react.
Sometimes the pressures of today's world can make it tough to take care of yourself, but Nature's Bounty has innovative ways to help you maintain balance and help keep you active and well-rested. Because hey, tomorrow's coming up fast. Nature's Bounty, because you're better off healthy.
Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Hey, you can't do that. Can he do that?
Yeah, he's good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's the #1 longest-lasting battery.
652 hours of live TV. 32 days out in the elements. And 1 legendary field test.
We got a good old-fashioned blizzard here.
We challenged the Weather Channel to put our squall parka through winter's worst and use their feedback to make it more functional, comfortable, and winterproof than ever before. The new Squall Parka, field tested by the Weather Channel, made even better by Land's End. Guaranteed, period.
I wanted more from my COPD medicine. That's why I've got the power of 1, 2, 3 medicines in Trelegy. The only FDA-approved 3-in-1 COPD treatment.
Trelegy, the power of 1, 2, 3. Trelegy, 1, 2, 3. Trelegy.
With Trelegy and the power of 1, 2, 3, I'm breathing better. Trelegy works 3 ways: to open airways, keep them open, and reduce inflammation for 24 hours of better breathing.
Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Trelegy is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating,